First of all, I would like to thank you, Mr. Richard Burger, who actually facilitate us and help us to organize this important conference. Here, our people, our party members, and all the comrades is here because we expect from the European Parliament, we expect from the British Parliament to listen us carefully and not repeat those words which actually doesn't mean. But we need your full support to understand our issue. I thank you all of you to contribute and show the solidarity with the divided state of Jammu Kashmir, which is under Pakistan, which is under India, and some portion is also under China. And because I have the written statement, but due to the paucity of time, I would not like to read whole text. But first, I just say that our motherland, the state of Jammu Kashmir, was divided forcefully. Pakistan was invaded, sent private militia, military troops, and whereas we have one standstill agreement with the Pakistan, but Pakistan violated that. Some of the people focus only on Srinagar, but what we, the people who live in Britain or elsewhere, who are living in forced exile, nobody is ready to listen because the geopolitics actually force them to say something which is not translated over miseries, over issues. We are facing human rights violations. We are subjugated over all the resources plundered by the occupiers, and they did not allow us to freely move one part to other part. And it is the government of Pakistan, government of India, both are signatory to the UN resolutions, 13th August 1948, and that resolution forced to both the governments first to protect the life, liberty and property of the Kashmiris. And then asked Pakistan, because it was Pakistan who invaded, so asked Pakistan to withdraw its troops and all those people who enter in Kashmir for the purpose of fighting and religiously motivated, they did not know what the Kashmiri history or culture. And still, 76 years, we are facing proxy war. We are facing proxy politics. In Pakistan, sent many religiously motivated terrorist groups, and India also playing a proxy politics. Created some of the proxy candidates, the proxy political parties, in the name of political parties, but today those political parties are not able to enhance or recognize the miseries of the Kashmir. But it is the Great Britain at that time, or the Great Britain intervention and some of the local British officers who they have the findings that who enter in Kashmir for the purpose to forcibly annex. But unfortunately, we are hoping that British government and authorities will intervene forcefully, and also asking both the governments to comply the UN resolution. First, it was the Pakistan who should comply the resolutions, because that resolution, UN resolution, asked Pakistan to withdraw its troops, and under the supervision of United Nations, that portion which is occupied by Pakistan, the people's human rights, democratic rights should be respected under the supervision. But still 76 years, Pakistan is not comply that resolution. And unfortunately, there are many political leaders, international politicians. They were not bothered to read that resolution, but that resolution examined the role of India and Pakistan. They are just saying it is very much international issue. But how many governments even subscribe those resolutions and ask both the government to act to comply with these resolutions? But there is some of the warmongering people who force, who subjugate us, and now one of the ordinance, like in Pakistan, rule this area through one act that is called Act 1974, and that act did not allow me to take part in the elections until and unless I will not sign the loyalty with the Pakistan. Whereas according to the Pakistan, it is a contradiction that Pakistani constitution did not recognize that Kashmir is officially part and parcel of the Pakistan. And whenever we are demanding, then they are saying you belong to the disputed territory. But when we demand that this is our rights and that right should be ensured, then they are saying, no, we are not responsible. And over all the institutions supervised and headed by the four powerful land officers. In 21st century, we are ruled by four powerful land officers, and in 2007, European Parliament passed a resolution, that resolution called Amman-Nicholson report. And 27 countries asked both India, Pakistan and China, you cannot unilaterally annex any part of Kashmir. But in 5th August 2019, India unilaterally decided and show the majoritarianism and divide furtherly over motherland into two parts. One is Ladakh separately from the rest of the state as Jammu Kashmir, and over historical nations and state is now called Union Territory. Whereas over the UN resolution did not allow India to change the demography or any act which is harmful for the Kashmir. And now it is the elected member of the state of Jammu Kashmir members passed a resolution and asked India to honor our statehood, restore statehood, and the special status should be restored and abrogate all those draconian law which was passed by the Indian Parliament. But India is not ready to comply the elected members of the J&K under Indian administration. And under the Pakistan, our legislators have no any say. If anybody who try to address our immediate issue, then the intelligence agencies intervened their forces and kept them away. And even hundreds and thousands of people all over the Pakistan is facing enforced disappearances, whether it's Baloch, whether it's Sindhis, that is in Pakistan. In Pakistan, people are struggling for the democracy. And you people can imagine under that country, our rights, how much protected or what kind of rights we are enjoying. So this is very delicate situation because now through the ordinance, one presidential ordinance, our freedom of expression is compromised, our freedom of association is compromised, and even then we cannot hold a protest or rally or seminar in that territory which is known as Azad Kashmir. So we hope that British parliamentarians, politicians, and especially the Labour Party members and the government should intervene and put pressure on Pakistan to repeal such kind of a draconian law, which ask Pakistan to ensure our basic rights, our economic rights, and our natural resources should be protected, not plundering. I think I take too much time. Sorry for.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
your insight. I would like to request Ms. Faria Atiq and come to the stage, and Mr. Mahmood Kashmiri Sahab, please have a seat. Now I would like to give floor to Sardar Shaukat Ali Kashmiri Sahab. He wants to add a few more things, and you have the floor, sir.
I thank you. In my view, this gathering represents our collective resolve and commitment to a peaceful, democratic, and just resolutions to the long-standing issue of Jammu and Kashmir. Ladies and gentlemen, I must focus on one point. It is very important for the POK people. What the elected member of the Srinagar Assembly say. Historical significance of Jammu and Kashmir State Assembly resolutions. The resolution passed by the erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir State Assembly held immense significance. They reflect the inspirations of the people and confirm the state special status under Article 370 and 35A of the Indian Constitution. This autonomy was not merely a constitutional provision, but a recognition of the unique identity, culture, and political aspiration of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. The unilaterally abrogation of this special status in August 2019 was a betrayal of these commitments. It dismantled the fragile trust between the people of Jammu and Kashmir and the state and exerted tension in an already violent regions. We call for the restoration of the special status as a crucial step towards reconciliation and as a foundation for the reunification of the historical state. One thing we again emphasize and focus the role of the British government. The British government bears a historical and moral responsibility with regard to the resolutions of the Jammu and Kashmir conflict. As the colonial power that oversaw the partition of India, the UK played a role in the creation of this dispute today. It has the opportunity to facilitate a resolutions by advocating the dialogue and peace, raising human rights concerns, supporting democratic concerns, supporting democratic movements, condemnation of repressive policies in Muzaffarabad administered by Pakistan. The Pakistani administrator, Kashmir, the authorities has most recently introduced regressive policies to curb freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of movement. But we emphasize that all our diaspora Kashmiri activists, human rights defenders put pressure on Pakistan to repeal all draconian law. So we should organize a campaign in the street, signature campaign, pamphleting, and through demonstrations in front of Pakistani consulates and embassies, so that Pakistani embassies or Pakistani authorities representative here send the message what diaspora is thinking about their brutal policies, so that Pakistan, it is the Pakistani government responsibilities according to the truce agreement, United Nations resolutions, Pakistan cannot impose us such kind of a draconian laws. So we ask Pakistan to remember and always move towards the protection of the human rights, not curb our voices. We are from Kashmir, and as a diaspora, we always look after our people who living under Pakistani subjugation. So they are not alienated, they are not alone. We are with them, and we always raise our voices in favor of the people of Gilgit-Baltistan and the POK. Thank you.